if you have to solve an equation, how can you use your graphing calculator to do this for you? Silence. Folks, you have an equation here, and then you have numbers. What can you do with those numbers? Store them. Absolutely. So you're going to take this number 1/6. So you're going to do alpha y equals, or I'm sorry, alpha x 1/6 store x. And then you're going to carefully type in this equation. Now, this minus sign here looks like a big old subtract symbol. But you guys know by now, because it's June, when you type that in your calculator, you have to use the little negative symbol, not the big subtract sign. Otherwise, it'll screw you up. So you're going to type that in. You're going to press second math to get your equal to sign. And 0 is false. 1 is true. So, and I don't have the answer key with me. I don't know what the answer is. If this is a true, you should check them all. You should go and then do 0 store x, 3/10 store x. No solution. I just had to put 4 options. I wrote no solution. So see which one the answer is. You got, when you typed in 0, yes, it gives you a true. Yep, that's your answer. Now, guys, there's other ways to do these, but we're kind of going for the quick hits right now because it's the end of the year. This one, oops, let me zoom out a little bit. This one, the formatting is a little funky because 2 problems ran in together. Talking to myself in front of everyone. Number 2, a teacher asked the class to solve the equation 4 times x plus 3 equals 16. Lewis wrote something. Come on. 4x plus 12 equals 16 as his first step. Which property did he use? So I'm just going to rewrite it because I can barely see it. Whoopsie. And then he wrote, so it's distributive. It's distributive property. Yeah. And now you can ask in your own head, why would we make that question look so difficult? And the reason is because that's the way they would write it on the Regents exam. So we just, this is practice. Anybody got questions? Okay. Number 3, the zeros of the function y equals 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 are blank. So the way you do this one, put this guy into y equals. Okay. Hey, it's supposed to be pink and it looks purple. Type that in, 2x minus 4x minus 6. And then you hit graph. And zeros are where they cross the x-axis.
Miss Mar, are you in your living room?
Yes.
I like your living room.
Thanks.
Okay, for real. You look like you're like a nice house.
It's all just neutral. When you paint your own house, go neutral. And my house isn't that great. We only have 1 toilet. 4 people. So I don't even know what this thing looks like. Where minus 2x minus 3.
Did any of you put that in the y equals? I see a lot of chatting. I see a lot of looking around.
Lame. I did this using algebra, and I might have made a mistake. So your graph should look something, I think, like this. I think. I heard a yup. So I'm going to run with the yup. So now you have to look. You can count, or you can look on your table. Okay, if you do second graph, look where the y is 0, or look for where the x-intercepts are. So guys, what are the x-intercepts? What are the zeros in this problem?
Number 1. -1 and 3.
Yes.
-1 and 3.
Yep, number 1. Yep.
Do you understand what Miss Mara just did there? Yeah, no. What happens if you switch them around? If it wasn't multiple choice and you put -1 and 3, that's still fine, right? Because it's left to right. It's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Number 4. Oh, I hate these. This is an average rate of change problem. When we had to make this final, we had to make it rigorous, which means that, it's like tricky. But this is one, it's annoying, but it's in our curriculum and we had to do it. And on the Regents, you're going to see questions like this. Hopefully you've done the Edpuzzle, so you've gotten some exposure to those. Firing a piece of pottery in a kiln takes place at different temperatures for different amounts of time. The graph below shows temperatures in a kiln while firing a piece of pottery after the kiln is preheated. Who cares? There's a graph. Now, if you look at the question, it says, during which time interval did the temperature in the kiln show the smallest average rate of change? We did that in November. That's slope. So the slope is how steep something is. If it's like that, that's a big slope. That's a high slope. If it's like that, it's closer to 0. So let's look at our options. Number 1 goes from 0 to 1. So I'm just going to try to highlight this. Sometimes you got to use math, sometimes you don't. I'll do different colors so everyone can see. 1 to 1.5. That looks pretty close. 5 to 8. Oopsie. That's flat. That's a low average rate of change. And none of the above. Well, probably, we had to give 4 options. So which one shows the smallest? Just look. Which one looks the least steep?
I know that means longer.
I'm giving it a chance. Around next year now. Smallest average rate of change. Mason, what do you think? Mason says 3. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Ms. Morrow, do you agree with that?
I agree with that. Now let me change this question quick, because for fun. You don't have to change. You don't have to rewrite it. Just follow along. Let's pretend, you had to do the biggest one. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit. Wait. Okay. So we know that one on top. Oh, you dirty dog. I'm going to have to get my filter back, Miss Brennan. Okay. So we have that blue section and then this pink section. One of these is bigger than the other, but it's really hard to see. Like, to me, they look exactly the same, but they're not because this isn't drawn to scale. So if I said to you, which is the biggest average rate of change, you would have to find the slope. How do you find the slope?
L1 and L2. Or rise over run.
Yes, you could do L1 and L2, totally. But you'd have to do it twice. But you could totally do the stat edit. Rise over run. Okay, let's do rise over run. It's probably quicker to do for this one. So let's do the blue section. This is 200 right here. So I'm looking at the blue. It goes from 200. What number do you? 700. So how much did it go up by?
1.
From 200 to 700.
500.
500. Good, Mason. It goes up 500 and then over 1. So this slope right here, this average rate of change is 500. Now this one, this pink guy right here, goes from 700 to 900. So the pink one goes up 200. It goes from 1 to 1.5. So what's it go over by? 0.5. Good. So if we have to compare these things, we got 500 and 200 divided by 0.5. So put that in your calculator. 200, if you get a fraction, just do math number 2, enter, and you'll get, it'll give you a whole number. Actually, it should just give you a whole number. When you put that in, what do you get? Yippers. So which one has the biggest average rate of change? Zero to 1 or 1 to 1.5? 0 to 1. Be careful on that question. Anybody got questions? Okay. All right, number 5. I don't know if your formatting is off, but mine is a little sus. Which number is irrational? Again, they love these on Regents exams. Irrational means it's a number that goes on forever and there's no repeating pattern. So maybe on your paper you want to write goes on forever. That means non-terminating. No repeating pattern.
Why? I thought it goes on
If I were you, I would jot that down so that when I'm studying tonight, I remember what irrational means.
Put them all in your calculator if you need to. Obviously, this one you don't need to because it's 0.3. Well, I can tell you this one is not the answer because it doesn't go on forever. It's just 0.333. If this went on forever, it would look like that. It would have dots. So how do you know it's 2?
Because it doesn't have a pattern and it goes on forever.
Yeah. When you put that in your calculator, it's got 10 digits. That's as big as your number can get. And remember, to get this symbol, you have to do second X square button. It's on the left-hand side. Are we good, Miss Brennan?
We seem to be if we are weak. Some of us are weak.
Oh, for goodness
I'm thinking
sakes.
strong.
Some of us are having a hard time focusing.
Well,
I'm terrified.
I'm really glad I was sick.
That's a sad statement right there.
I don't know if I would have made it to the end of the year. Although I was home with my kids. They just went back to school today. It's been a long, long week. Anyway, I'm sure it has for you. The graph of f of x is shown below. I don't know why this 4 is here. Some type of typo. What is the value of f of -4?
We talked about these yesterday in the show your work section, so you should all be able to get
Oh, yeah.
this 100%. What does that mean when you say f of -4? Why? What are we looking for? When x is -4, what is y? Remember, this is what we were talking about yesterday.
Wait, one.
0.
What do you guys think it is? It's kind of hard to tell.
It's broken.
I'm going to say it's this one. Is it 6? When
It's a
x,
really tricky one.
when x is -4, is y 6?
Let's answer the first question. When x is -4, is y 6? No.
No. Maybe it's 2. When x is negative, maybe. Guys,
This is a bad question.
Listen, everybody listen to the words that come out of my mouth. This is not a bad question. This is a question that has been altered. So imagine, if you will, you have this question on a final. It would be a very specific answer. But if the question was altered just a little bit, now it might be, because who cares? It's a review. So actually, let's change this. What is the value when f is 2? Try that one.
0.
Yes, because that makes the point to 0. So you would say 0. Okay. -4, I just picked a number.
What would they answer?
Well, that is, like you said, that is a bad question. There is,
Right.
because it kind of goes like, well, it's kind of 2, it's kind of -1. You kind of can't tell.
So it would be 2.
Either if this was the exact question on a test, we would have to accept both answers, because looking at it, you can make the case for either one. So, but don't worry, fear not. On your final exam, it will be very obvious, because I'm sure you're all in fear right now. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, number 7. This one's not multiple choice, but read between the lines. This would be a pain in the neck to duplicate. So what do you think we did for this review for a problem like this? Any guesses?
Mason, what's your guess?
When they both intersect.
So yes, it is where they both intersect. This graph is on your test. The only difference is I took off the multiple choice part and I just said, okay, what is it? So this graph you will see on your multiple choice. But yes, I believe that was Mason's voice, where it intersects. So it would be much easier for you guys to look at your own paper. I'll do this one because this one's easy. So one of the answers is 1, -3. What's the sky hang out? Up there.
Another point, guys.
You get 3 shapes.
negative 3/6. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Negative 3/6. Okie dokie. So those would be your two answers. On a multiple choice, you'd pick whichever one you saw as the option.
Not. That's -3/5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mason led us astray.
Hey, I fixed my problem.
And everybody just followed him except Ella.
I blame Mason. Actually, who are we blaming in this class? Oh, Jackie. I blame Jackie.
She has a question.
Yes.
Just for me, never mind.
Oh, be that way. Okay, name the functions. Ooh, did you guys graph one of these yesterday? Yeah, it's on your test. Regents people love those things. What's it called?
A line.
That is not a line.
A graph.
Oh my God. Look, it even kind of gives you a hint here. What symbol do you see?
A square root.
Thank you. Square. So that's a square root. Let's do this V1. What's this one called?
Absolute value.
Yes.
Right.
Abs. V for value. That one. This one's tricky.
Quadratic thing.
Yes, whoever said that. Quadratic.
That was Abby.
Yay. And then this last one.
A line.
A line is straight.
Linear thing.
Linear is a line.
I know the V is absolute value.
I
What is
know.
that thing we talked about this too, and when we talked about this, we referenced a video.
EK?
The meat.
What with meat and bugs.
Oh my gosh.
Exponential. Who said that? Thank you, Ezra. What?
I said
We'll have to watch some Decay the last day of school.
And guys, just so I can point out, remember yesterday in the show your work when we put the square root into our y equals, what did we get?
errors.
Some errors, right? And we had to look for the points that actually were points that we could plot. Remember? Okay.
Do you think Miss Brennan would have mentioned that if something like this was going to show up tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
So,
I gotta.
Tried to do the how often does what I review look just like what we might be looking at on our slice of paper that no one wants to evaluate, but we have to. Somebody asked me.
Number 9. We're more than halfway there. Woohoo. What are the factors? Ew. We did not like factoring. That was not an enjoyable couple weeks for period 2. But I see letters in the problem and I see letters in the answers. We can use a calculator trick. Which calculator trick can we use? We've done this one a lot, I feel like. Oh, I heard store.
Store.
What number do we have to store? Does it matter?
Don't you have to do
you
both?
just store the answers. Yeah.
Nope, you're not going to. You can't store the answers because there's letters in the answer. You're going to pick any number you want
That's what I thought.
and then store and then the X button.
So then what are we gonna do? Alright,
So-
I'll wait.
So then you type in your problem and you're going to get some random number. Remember, that's your magic number. I don't know how to spell magic. Is it with a G? Your correct answer will match your magic number. So you store one thing in, then you type the problem, then you type the answers and see which one matches.
Magic.
Magic.
Did you actually did? Yes, you did. I'm gonna store. Okay.
I think she was like.
You guys don't want to go. Why is there so much magic on the screen right now?
Because it's a calculator trick.
Actually, what's your birthday month? Oh my god. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The problem.
Here's me and Mrs. Brennan sliding down the rainbow. Does anybody know the answer yet?
Yeah, one. Those are like trolls.
Yep.
Oh, Miss Morrow.
We got 3 more minutes.
We're out of time.
I know. So guys, bring this tomorrow. I'm going to go through the show your work section.
Guys, hang on. Mason, sit. Because you can't even hear what Miss Morrow was saying to wrap up. So hang on 1 second.
Bring your packet. I'm going to grade the show your work part. And then on Thursday, we'll finish the multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay?
I will be here today after school.